Well, this is my final days in the Second World War, coming back, after getting out at Boise, Idaho. And I hitchhiked by air to this airfield in Arkansas, where they were bringing in all the airplanes to save them. And the only time I flew in a B-17. Anyway, that following year, I went back to work at my old sign company, and I had wanted to start up right away, come to Chicago Art Institute, but they had no really opening space until the following fall. So that means I worked that full year, the end of 45 and the first part of 46. Well, during that time, I usually would get out with my friend Matthews, who was able to get a brand new Plymouth convertible because his father was a wholesale pharmacy salesman, and it was almost impossible for anybody to buy a new car at that time. But his father let him use his what amounted to coupon to get a new car. So we usually would have dates, and we'd go to a movie or something. And this particular time, I don't really know why, but I think he began to think that he was really paying too much of the transportation cost, and for some reason he didn't want to use his car to take, I guess it was my girlfriend, back. So I stopped by the sign shop, and sure enough, my boss was there, totally drunk, and needed a way to get home. And he had his car sitting there, but he had sense enough not to drive, and he was as drunk as that. So I said, okay, his name was Kenneth Smith. I said, okay, Mr. Smith, let me take my girlfriend home, and I'll come back and then take you home. He was very apprehensive at first, not being sure that I was going to follow through on my promise to come take him home. But he let me take his car and take my girlfriend home.
And it wasn't Mom. You had another girlfriend, Dad.
Yeah, that was how many years before I met Mom?
Okay.
3 maybe.
And this was in Memphis.
In Memphis, yeah.
And who is Matthews? Is that his first name or his last name?
No, that's his last name. His first name was Elbert.
Oh, okay.
which of course he.
Because when you said Matthews, so you called him by his last name.
Well, his nickname was Boots, but I don't recall ever calling him Boots. So I don't know.
It was a family nickname,
Yeah,
maybe?
it was a family nickname, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, taking my boss home, he lived out kind of in actually out in the country, farther out than a Memphis suburb.
Which direction? Do you remember?
Probably northeast. I think that's where. See, everything to the west, of course, would have been across the Mississippi River. So, anything going out from Memphis, either was you go east or south or north. But I recall getting out within hailing distance of his home. In fact, I found a group of mailboxes and found his name on the mailbox.
That night when he was drunk? That's how you found his house?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He was drunk enough that he couldn't quite tell us where his house was. And after we found his mailbox, he says, "Okay, Jack, I can smell it from here."
His house?
Yeah. But anyway, shortly, we did find his house, and I'm not sure. I know that my friend Matthew was following along, so I'm pretty sure I must have left his car there. At his
Oh,
house.
right. So that then you
And
could
then
just
went
go
back.
with Matthews back to
Yeah,
the. Mm.
But it was not too long after that we planned that Colorado trip. When I paid all of Paul's expenses, and at that time, my friend came up with what he thought was a fair deal that Paul and I would pay for the gasoline, and that he would pay for oil and oil changes and anything that had to do with the car. And of course, at that time, Paul was interested in getting into all kinds of export deals, but seems he never made any money on these things. So, and he didn't actually have a job. So I agreed to pay his part of it. So that means I paid for all the gas, and then my friend,
But how much was gas? 5 cents a gallon?
Well, it was not that cheap, but it might have been 28 cents.
Yeah. And you went from Memphis to Colorado, so it was probably good $20, $30, $50, right? I don't know.
It might have been. It was definitely not too much.
Mm.
So,
Well, fascinating.